Hey guys, Bob here from Raw Strength and Muscle, and today I want to talk about weak men, strong men, dangerous men, and peaceful men, and what basically the difference is between all of that. Now, first of all, let me just go ahead and say that when people see a man who is capable of physicality, okay, it could be physical violence, it could be sexuality, okay, they are in general afraid of this man. Okay, the moment that you see a guy who is either big and strong and capable, therefore of physical violence, or a person who has training or experience or a rough and tumble background where they were in a lot of fights and they saw a lot of violence, they participated in a lot of violence, and you know they're capable of violence, okay, or a combination of the two, you usually think this is a dangerous man, in which case you're right, but you also are afraid of this man, which is wrong, okay? The same thing goes for sexual power. If you ever see a guy who can get all the women he wants, okay, who has some kind of a sexual attraction to him that women just want him, okay, you immediately think that he is the kind of person who cheats around, sleeps with everybody, breaks women's hearts, and is a big asshole. But the fact of the matter is, the most dangerous man is the person who wants to be violent, who wants to be hypersexual, but is not because he cannot, okay? You may have heard of this recently because of Jordan Peterson. He's been getting a lot of airtime on social media, has a big following, but he's really just quoting a lot of old school philosophy, psychology. In this case, it's Carl Jung, who talked about the concept of a person not being truly peaceful unless he is capable of violence, okay? Now, I'm gonna go ahead and give you a perfect example of this. When I was in the corporate world, okay, when I had a management position in a company in Germany, a guy who worked for me, he was older, he was in terrible physical condition, and he was married for, let's say, maybe 30 years, give or take, okay? And he was faithful the entire time. I knew him for several years, and one time I found out that he was cheating on his wife, okay? And I went up and I talked to him. I'm like, so I see you're cheating on your wife. Like, what's up with this? And he's like, man, I told you, if I ever have the chance, I'm going to take it. So right here, we see the danger of a weak man. Because the bottom line is he did not cheat on his wife for 30 years, but it's not because he didn't want to. He was celibate. He was monogamous. He was faithful to his wife because he had no chance to have sex with anybody else. And the moment that he had the chance to have sex with somebody else, he immediately took it. So basically, he would have been unfaithful the entire 30 years had he had the opportunity. Now compare that to somebody else who could get any woman he wants. Every single day, he has multiple chances to have sex with people who are not his wife, and he chooses to remain faithful to his wife, okay? Now, who is truly faithful? The person who can but does not, or the person who would but cannot? Let's go ahead and let's talk about this in terms of physical violence, okay? If you have a person who's capable through his physicality, he's big and strong, okay? He has training or experience, been in a lot of fights, seen a lot of violence. He can thrash another human being. He can cause massive damage to another human being with weapons, without weapons, whatever, okay? He is a dangerous man, but he is a truly peaceful man because he chooses not to, okay? On the other hand, you have somebody who's like a castrated bunny rabbit who is peaceful, you would say, but the fact is he has no capacity for physical violence. So what do you think would happen if he did suddenly have the capacity for physical violence? What do you think would happen? Well, I'll tell you what would happen. These are the kinds of people who are treated like shit their whole lives, cannot defend themselves, do not try to defend themselves, basically hate the entire world, and then someday they grab a gun and they go postal. They go into their post office and they start shooting innocent civilians, unarmed innocent civilians with a gun. They are the sort of people who go with 30, 40 years old, they go back to their high school and they start shooting innocent, unarmed civilian children with a gun okay? Because they are not capable of defending themselves. They are not capable of violence. The moment that you give someone who would be violent but cannot be violent the capacity to be violent, he immediately uses it. Whereas you have somebody else who is confident, who is physically capable of defending himself, who would always be direct with you. Like, if you tell me something and I don't fucking like what you say, I am never going to smile in your face and talk shit behind your back. I'm never going to smile in your face and talk shit to your wife or fucking to the boss or try to get you fired. I'm never going to smile in your face and try to get you deplatformed from social media. I'm going to look you in the eyes and tell you, you're a fucking asshole. What you did was fucking bullshit. I can't fucking believe you did it, and it is fucking unacceptable. I am not going to fucking go ahead behind your back. As opposed to the little kid who's fucking getting pushed around and he, curses under his breath or talks shit under his breath, okay, behind other kids' backs, and eventually he loses his shit. So basically what I'm trying to say is, like I said, do not be afraid of, as came out in the book on killing, which I just happen to have on my bookshelf right now. Do not be afraid of the sheepdog, okay? What we're talking about here is, there are sheep, there are wolves who would hurt the sheep, and there are sheepdogs who protect the sheep from the wolves. Now, there is a fine line between a wolf and a sheepdog. They both have claws. They both have fangs. They both have thick fur, so they can be clawed at and be bitten and survive and continue to fight, okay? There's a fine line, physically speaking, between the sheepdogs and the wolves, and the sheep are afraid of both. But without the sheepdogs, they have no protection against the wolves, because the sheep have no choice but to be peaceful because they are incapable of violence. The sheepdog could easily kill all the sheep just like the wolf, but he chooses not to, and he chooses only to become violent if he has to protect the sheep from the wolf. Okay, it's a wonderful book to read, but the concept is the same. What I'm basically trying to say is, if you are a woman, okay, please respect the person capable of getting sexual variety. Please respect the person capable of being physically violent. Because at the end of the day, someone who has the chance to cheat on you but chooses not to cheat on you, who has the chance to be physically violent but chooses not to be violent, is the person to be trusted, as opposed to the person who, had he had the chance to cheat, would, who, had he had the chance to be physically violent, would be, okay? And what this really comes down to also is just your capacity to be a real man, okay? For instance, I discussed this in my last video. I discussed about how people are looking for diets where you could still eat fucking donuts all day, where you don't have to eat fucking meat, you don't have to eat fucking eggs, you don't have to eat any fucking man food, you can eat like a fucking little baby bitch boy, okay? Where you don't have to fucking work out very often. And when you do, you just do a couple of concentration curls on a 5-pound dumbbell. You don't fucking lift heavy goddamn weights, okay? And I said, what happens if you're in a situation where somebody runs up and wants to fucking rape your wife, somebody comes up and wants to, fucking kidnap your kid, and all you're concerned about is eating your favorite foods, and you're like, oh, I just want to eat my favorite foods, I just don't want to hurt anybody, and please, oh my God, and I'm scared of doing deadlifts, and oh my God, I just don't want to lift weights, I don't want to do anything really hard, and I want to stay up, and I want to watch Netflix, and I don't want to wake up in the morning, and I don't want to go to the gym, and please just take my wife and do whatever you have to, and please take my kid and do whatever you have to do what you want with my wife, but please leave me alone, I just want to eat donuts. Or if you have somebody who fucking wants to eat donuts but chooses to eat steak and eggs instead. Somebody who fucking wants to sleep in but wakes up at 5 in the morning, is in the gym at 6. Somebody who fucking does fucking, squats where he puts a bar on his shoulders and does 20 reps with his 10 rep max and doesn't put the fucking bar down. He knows when he wakes up at 5, at 6 o'clock, he's gonna have a 300-pound bar on his shoulders, and he's gonna spend 2.5, 3 minutes doing one set of squats, just squat and taking a break and squat, taking a break. It doesn't put the bar down until he either fucking gets crushed into the ground by this fucking barbell, or until he powers through and fucking does all 20 reps. Somebody who fucking, like, some guy wants to fucking, like, kidnap your kid or rape your wife, some little fucking pussy who fucks and beats women or fucking kidnaps kids, is going to fucking run up to you and he's going to be like, motherfucker, I woke up this morning at fucking 5 o'clock, brought my ass out to the fucking gym, and I fucking ripped a 500-pound fucking barbell off the ground for set after set after set after set. And you fucking think I'm afraid of your motherfucking bitch ass? Like, that's the kind of person that you want to become. You want to become the kind of person who is not afraid of fucking working hard, who's not afraid of fucking discipline, who's not afraid of getting up early in the morning. Okay? Because what we know when we see a person who is that kind of a man, he eats a fucking very disciplined. He eats all of the good foods. He doesn't eat any of the bad foods. He fucking works out on schedule, works out hard, always pushes himself in the fucking gym. When we see a person like this, we know the reason he's not violent is because he chooses not to. The reason he's not cheating is because he chooses not to. But if you put him in a situation where he has to defend somebody, he will not fucking back down. And that's the kind of person that I'm always trying to build. That's the reason why my diet is so strict. That's the reason why my workouts are so hard. Because not only am I trying to get you the best results from a diet and a workout at all times, but I'm also trying to make you into the kind of man who could be trusted. The man who's capable of getting sexual variety, the man who's capable of being physically violent, but chooses not to. However, should he have to protect the sheep from the wolf, he could be capable of extreme physical violence. He's not afraid of it. He fucking goes to battle every time he hits the gym. He goes to battle every time he gets up before 5 a.m. He goes to fucking battle every time that he wants a donut and a fucking drink of beer and instead he fucking has steak and eggs. He goes to battle constantly so he can be fucking trusted to not abuse his power. However, he can also be trusted to channel his power if he has to protect somebody who's weaker than him. And that's the kind of person that I'm trying to fucking build. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Post your comments down below who you think is truly a peaceful person. Somebody who's capable but chooses not to, or somebody who would choose to but is incapable. And if you want to become a physically and emotionally and mentally and spiritually strong man, a disciplined man who also has a strong body, go ahead and check out Raw Strength and Muscle. I got my nutrition program, my workout program, my group coaching, my one-on-one coaching. Check out rawstrengthandmuscle.com. Aside from that, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. I will see you in the next video.